and share it with the world.
Sure, sure. Welcome to Soup and Meatballs. It's that time of the week. It's 9 o'clock on a Sunday. Tim, how was your week going, man?
It was a pretty good week, pretty low key. Nothing too exciting here. How about you?
We'll start. So, like the first time with kids, and the schedule is going to take some getting used to, and things are still changing. But with school coming, with school starting, it means Friday night football, which is cool. Um, it's get back into the swing of things. I look at teaching like it's baseball. The first couple of days of baseball, you get like opening day, then you get the day off, and then I need August where like you're playing 29 games in 31 days before I start feeling comfortable teaching again.
So you're still doing like long toss.
Schedule. So drop ad hasn't finished yet. So like in one of my classes, I have 15 seats and I have 21 kids. So spoiler alert, that's too many. But so they have to figure that out, and but like the first couple of days of school, it's like the getting to know you stuff. Like this is the rules, and this is your teacher and how goofy I am. I haven't showed them this show yet. Maybe I will this week. But teaching actually starts for me tomorrow, so like whether you're in my class on Thursday or Friday or not, you're going to get something tomorrow.
So if this is something you're showing your class, can we use like a lot of like adult language, and like can the top 5 this week be like top 5 best ways to like shoplift from a pharmacy or something?
We could draft our favorite vulgarity.
Oh, that's perfect.
Actually,
there are only 7 from what George Carlin taught us.
Oh, no. If you watch that whole thing, like there's some like minor league stuff that you really shouldn't be saying either, or derivatives that you can use.
Okay.
What's cool is the guy I used to coach with back in the day, he used to say Cookie Crisp all the time. And that would be like his curse word. So I say Cookie Crisp a lot. I had a kid a couple of years ago used to say Holy Cats. I asked him, like, dude, where did that come from? He's like, I don't know, I just made it up. I say Holy Cats a lot.
My grandfather used to say sugar.
I say Sugar Snaps. That'll come out every now and then.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the big ones. I also told, so as part of my getting to know you thing, I told my kids about my broken wrists, and I also told them about my bad ankles. And I said my biggest fear is I'm walking down the hall and I twist my ankle and I fall down, and a lot of words come out of my mouth that you don't think I know, but I know. So.
It always was a little bit of a thrill when you heard a teacher curse. Like if they would snap and they would let one fly.
Who was more likely to pull one out then when we were in school?
Grink, Mr. Grink.
Grink, absolutely. No, I don't think he was going to let one fly. I think that was just part of his natural lexicon.
But then after he would do it, and he, in my memory anyway, like I remember him having like the Hazelton accent, and he'd be like, so then you're out on your ass, pardon my French. Excuse my vernacular.
You know what? You're not right. I can't think of. I don't think Natero did.
Well, but it wasn't the language. I don't know. I'm going to be vague.
I got you. No, that works. So let's get. Oh, I have a. I tell you what. After the show, last week after the show, I had to take Derek to work. This week after the show, I have to go take apart a set so that they can take it to a dumpster tomorrow. The dumpster is not at Jen's school, but we've got to disassemble the stuff and have like a big pile of wood outside so they can put it in the dumpster tomorrow. What a fun Sunday I have.
And hey, R.I.P. Grease set. So
not soon enough. Not soon enough. So
I wasn't out sure. For the halls of Rydell High.
Yeah, in the halls of Frank J. Faust Cams North right now. I wasn't sure if we should have started with pro football today or college football today, so I thought maybe we could do both. College football had a first on Thursday. A guy named Daquan Wright signed a free agent contract with your Philadelphia Eagles, but he was in camp with the Cleveland Browns, and now he may be heading back to college as part of a large group of players who sued the NCAA in an attempt to gain a fifth year of eligibility. And a judge in Louisiana, Will Jordan, not only granted these players a fifth season, but allowed them to enter, get this, a newly created week-long transfer portal to find a new home. So in all, more than 150 athletes have filed eligibility lawsuits across the country, and judges are all ruling in favor of the players, either with a temporary restraining order or an injunction that prohibits the NCAA from enforcing their rules. Tim, I don't know if you saw this, but what's going on here? What are we doing?
Well, in the phrase I keep using is, it's the Wild West. We're just making rules up as we go about what
This is beyond the Wild West, though. Holy cow.
Yeah, I mean, and we've seen it in the NBA where players, this is just the way sports is now. Amateur status truly is a concept that seems to vary based on who you ask or what court you're in.
But that's one of the things I'd written down here was the concept of NIL. Amateur sports are done as far as the NCAA is concerned, and I have no problem with paying college football players based on the millions and potentially billions of dollars these universities get on the backs of these athletes. But when there has to be some kind of, you're done here now. If you sign a contract with the Eagles or you're in camp with the Browns, I think I saw something. There was something with a Tampa Bay Buccaneer as well. That's got to be the end of your journey, unless we just decide to make a giant NCAA and call it the minor leagues that you can go up and down.
I mean, it used to be that if you signed with an agent, that was it. That was the official. You were no longer college eligible. You were a professional athlete, whether you were being paid for your talents or not. The fact that you had representation was the clear demarcation point between NCAA and pro. And
now these guys are being represented, though, as college freshmen. They have agents that negotiate their NIL deals, so that can't be it now.
I mean, I truly don't know. Like, if we have basketball players who put up NBA stats, they average 1.8 points a game, and can still go back to college, then why not football? I mean,
I guess, like you said, it was going to be a matter of time till this happened. I actually kind of forgot about the basketball situation we had. I saw that this question was posed on one of the morning shows earlier this week. How sustainable is this for college sports? That now you have a coach. Let's just put Kyle Whittingham there. So Kyle Whittingham not only has to recruit high school juniors and seniors, he has to recruit his own players to stay. He's got to recruit the transfer portal across the country. Now he's potentially looking at NFL practice squads.
Yeah, I mean, this
how hard is that?
We're to the point where, there's always been that balance of in-game coach versus recruiter. You had some guys who were better at one aspect of that than the other. And now we're at a point now where to be a college coach, managing this stuff, the recruiting and the portal, is far more important than in-game. By exponentials, like this is 5 or 10 times more important than in-game decisions.
I guess. I mean, I see what you're saying. It's like if you and I were going to play chess, and you have a regular board, and instead of 8 pawns, I have 8 queens ahead of me. I feel like I could probably do more damage.
Yeah, I mean, when we look at what Indiana did last year, how much was made about the construction of their roster as much as what they were doing in game? So,
but it also helped that Cignetti was a really good coach in game. I think you have to be a little bit of both, but you're not wrong. Roster construction now, wow, like this whole situation, it almost means that a university has to consider how adding to their staff, like the scouting department of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah,
They've got to follow the entire country. Colleges have to do that now.
I would equate it to that. Colleges have to have a dedicated person to that job, the same way that you have like a compliance officer to keep you in compliance with NCAA regulations. Now you need like that dedicated person to be like, okay, we might lose this kid, we can go after this kid, you know, like that's the way college football is in 2026. I would say again, that is the biggest part of program building.
Yes. Now, the other thing that we can switch to straight up college football now. We have a quarterback here in Pennsylvania. Penn State has a transfer quarterback from Iowa State. Rocco Becht. I don't know if you saw this. He talked in the media, and big problems, or at least controversy about the classes that he's taking, or maybe lack thereof. Did you see this?
I did not.
Well, good, because we have this sound here on Soup and Meatballs. Check this out.
Pursue to my masters with those 12.
We're gonna give me some volume here. Let's refresh you, and hopefully this works. It's thinking.
Degree already, right?
Yes, sir.
So what are you taking? Where do you stand academically? You have your degree already, right?
Yes, sir.
So what are you taking this fall?
Yeah, so I graduated with a communications degree from Iowa State, and I came over here, and I'm in an grad program, organizational development and change program, leadership classes, working in small group type of classes. So I'm doing that right now. In the fall, I'll have a class that I'm in online, and so after that, I'll get a certificate, and then I'm able to pursue to my master's with those 12 credits.
So you have one class this fall in what? What is it?
I don't know yet. We haven't picked it yet, so
Okay.
we got to do that here coming up this week.
There it is. So, what is your one class this year? I don't know.
And that's an important part of the scheduling process, is knowing what class you have to get to.
I mean, it is. I mean, listen, I'm not here to rally on online classes or whether these kids should be taking classes at all. At this point, it really has started to feel like they've built the minor leagues. Can we just set up a system where these kids can take classes if they want, almost? Because in Ohio, the entire team is doing stuff online. It's tough.
We really have all but eliminated the pretense of what college football, major college football is. That it is, at heart, a feeder system into the NFL.
As a fan, like, honestly, we're sitting there watching the game in 2 weeks when Michigan opens. Are we really worried about Bryce Underwood's year 2 economics class?
Right. It just makes me wonder what college football is going to look like in 10 years. I mean, we're already at a point where someone can play for 4 schools in 4 years, and the bowl season is meaningless. You just wonder how it's going to, and for good and for bad, you wonder how it's going to transform, because I do think players having a say in where they play, if coaches can leave situations, certainly players should be able to. And being compensated for your work, if a university is going to get money from selling your likeness or selling jerseys in the school store, I think that's all a good thing. I just still think we're in the process of figuring out the particulars.
The infancy stage of anything that's new and transformative is tough. What makes it really tough for this guy is, that interview traveled across the country in real time and blew up. You can't tell me Rocco Becht is the only person that is taking advantage of that kind of 50-year transfer system. on Harbaugh's first year at Michigan, he had a fifth-year transfer quarterback. Who's to say his grad classes weren't exactly the same situation? It's just now when this information gets out, it's bad optics. That's all it is. And
Right,
like you said at the beginning of the thing, these optics are what drives decision makers.
and also you can't tell me that a lot of these purists who are wringing their hands about the death of the traditional college football model, if they had a chance to if you gave someone a crystal ball who's complaining about the academic integrity, and you said for 1 year you can get a Mendoza, who's going to come in unheralded and have a Heisman season and take you to a national championship, they might not be proud of it, but they would be like, okay, let's do it. He can take whatever classes he wants.
Especially in Indiana. Let's preface that with a team like LSU or Clemson, who's had success recently, but maybe not super recently. They might be the hardcore traditionalists, not the lunatic fans. They might look at it differently, but Indiana hasn't seen a winning season since I don't know. You and I were running around West Court before that, so you're not wrong in that. It's just it's another example of you and I looking back at the '90s and saying, yeah, this was the best. This was the pinnacle of life and everything, and continue to yell at cloud.
Right, in the same way that our dads thought college football peaked in the '60s.
See, they were wrong though. That's the difference between you and I and Greg and Bob. They were wrong. We're right.
It's nice to just get that affirmation.
Yes. The other thing I saw about in college football, there are times during football season when you and I are soup and meatballing during Saturday mornings, and therefore we're not watching the morning preview shows. But before Soup and Meatballs became the internet phenomena that it is, Lee Corso on College Game Day had a really cool shtick that he put headgear on, and that kind of grew on me as time goes by. I thought he was a little bit of an Ohio sloppy, but over the 20 years or so that he was doing it, Ohio won like 86% of their games, so that was fine. But the huge deal this week, I don't know if you saw this, there was a Twitter X user, whatever you want to call it, named Mike Bales, who posted something that Lee Corso reportedly declined to give Pat McAfee his blessing on using and continuing the headgear tradition. And Pat McAfee didn't care. He was going to do it anyway.
So why ask?
Go ahead.
Why ask?
Well, here's the thing. Later on this week, McAfee actually came out and said he refuted all of this. Like, I'm not doing this. These are all claims made. I wrote it. This was a claim that was made up to make me look like an a-hole. His words. What's interesting to me is what this created was distinct factions on both sides. That there was one group that said, "How dare he touch this headgear tradition?" And then there was these other kinds of people who were like, "Why are you trying to be like Jaden Daniels and protect this? That only one person can do it." So I ask you, Tim, where would you fall on Pat McAfee putting on Brutus Buckeye when ESPN Game Day is at Texas for the Ohio State game?
I think this is fantastic for how incredibly silly it is. The fact that people are taking so seriously whether a man has the right to put on a styrofoam head is truly wonderful.
Headgear.
Like
yeah.
we're not talking about the holy grail here. It's not the Shroud of Turin. It's not some prized relic.
Mythical relic.
It's a
yeah.
mascot head. It's putting an alligator head on TV.
There's. Could you do highlights in ESPN and give people like funny nicknames? Like that's a Berman shtick. Like I couldn't think of any other media traditions. I don't know, like in the print industry, if there was like a media tradition that like if another writer tried to do it, they'd be like, dude, why are you copying my stuff?
I'm sure there is. Nothing comes immediately to mind.
Nothing in the TV world. When I interned at WNEP, Dave Pingeler had like Ping Kaching or ring ping. He used to call people on the phone, and like that was his thing. Like if Adam Zucker did that on BRE, that would look bad. But I mean, I think the headgear thing was decidedly a Lee Corso thing. And McAfee's a smart enough and goofy enough guy. He could probably come up with something on his own that he could make his own.
Honestly, for as much as the guy takes his shirt off, why doesn't he just do a Hulk Hogan, rip open his shirt and have, one of the logos painted on his chest?
You know what? I don't hate that. And
he's already doing professional wrestling anyway.
I
so
don't
then he
watch
can have beef with the estate of Hulk Hogan.
I don't watch a ton of Pat McAfee stuff. He's kind of too bro-y for me. But when I was in college, he'd have been right up my alley. So like in terms of like the 18 to 24 demographic, like he's what they watch. So he's parlayed his shtick into $60 million from ESPN. So who am I to say anything about him? I don't hate that idea for his shtick though, Tim. We should definitely send that into him.
I think
week 15, 30 degrees below zero, he would still do it and he would get pops for it. I like that.
I think we should start doing it.
Whoa, slow down. Whoa. I like this. This is my Cougar Pride shirt. I'm going to tear this off.
This shirt is surprisingly well made.
Oh, my goodness.
What is this fabric?
Oh, my gosh.
Sells to the military.
We have... it's like the military.
Is this Kevlar?
We have 13 days. 13 days to stop laughing about your shirt till Michigan football kicks off, and ESPN did their preseason bowl projections, and they have a playoff final of Notre Dame and Ohio State, which is just enough to make me want to not watch football this year. But they have Michigan in the ReliaQuest Bowl. I don't know if you remember that as the Outback Bowl. So it's now sponsored by ReliaQuest, with either a rematch against Oklahoma or a match against LSU. If Michigan does not make the 12-team playoff, would you rather see LSU or a rematch with Oklahoma?
I think I would rather see LSU just for the drama of
Lane game. I don't want a rematch. Rematches are dumb.
Yeah, but rematches can be fun, but I just think LSU is going to be such a circus this year that it can't help but be good viewing.
Lane Kiffin coming to a bowl, I think that'd be good. I figured next week we could do our in-depth Michigan preview, get some film out here and see what the Wolverines have as they open up with Western. Like I said, 13 days from now. But what is opening, PIAA across the state opens this Friday. Chambersburg had a tri-scrimmage with Gettysburg and Southwestern on Friday. Manheim Central comes to town this Friday. Should be a good game. Both teams are ranked relatively close in terms of how the state does their rankings. I looked at Manheim's roster, not really big. Lots of upperclassmen, though. Lots of juniors, lots of seniors. Meanwhile, Chambersburg has 3 dudes over 300 pounds. And I talked to one of the assistant coaches last week, and he said it's the biggest line they've ever seen. That's got me excited for Friday.
Yeah, I'm excited for Friday. I'll find some game to listen to. And I was trying to get, see what was going on with some of the scrimmages from this weekend, but I didn't really see much. I just glanced at the paper this morning, but I didn't see too much. But it's always, life's a little better when you have high school games on Friday, the college games on Saturday, and then the pro games.
Here we go. We have some footage from EasternPAFootball.com. This is Hazleton's scrimmage against Stroudsburg. Hazleton did some good run defense there. Stroudsburg's going to get a big pass here over the middle. I want you to see the size of this kid. This kid has to be a tight end. Look at this dude.
Oh, wow.
Shoving and running. No, it was the tight end. The tight end scores a touchdown here. So Hazleton defensively, we said last week, returns 9 starters. Look at the size of this kid.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah, dude's pretty big.
I thought he was going to dunk it over the
I did
crossbar.
too at first. Here's your first look at JJ Lantigua, quarterback for the Hazleton Cougars. Good little screen pass out here to the right. Good size. That receiver is about as tall as I've ever seen. You see the receivers there on the right. Hazelton's got some size on the edge. If they can protect this kid, this is tough in a scrimmage wearing the red jersey. I don't think they're supposed to hit him, so he escapes. But that's his game right there. Shifty, check the wristband. Where are we going with the ball? Good slant pass here. Good catch. Good run after the catch. First down. So Hazleton area opens up on Friday as well. They have West Scranton at Harmon Geist. So we'll see what happens there. What do you think?
Yeah, falls are always better when Hazleton football's good. I miss like when Patron was there and they went. They made a bit of a state run when they had like McGowan and Nate Aegis and those guys. I hope we have a chance to talk about some Hazleton area wins this fall.
So you talked about Rocco Patron. Do you think Rocco Patron was a tough coach?
Yeah.
Was he mean?
That's fair. I mean, I think mean is when you're like in someone's face, but without reason. Like, you know what I mean?
Let me show you mean. This is coaching
California
California. You see this?
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're frustrated, but you can't kick the ball into your players.
He decided to go for 2.
Not cool. And he was fired this week. So that's just an excuse really for us to show some video here on Soup and Meatballs. But like you said, this Friday we'll start talking Hazleton and local Pennsylvania football. I also saw EasternPAFootball.com is a great site for preseason video. Allentown Central Catholic, Bishop McDevitt. That must have been a really, really cool scrimmage to see.
Yeah.
Bishop McDevitt scored on their first play, though. So it's going to be another one of those years for the Crusaders, I think.
They're always a beast.
Switch it up. Major League Baseball. And I saw an article. I have this app on my phone called The Score. The Score. And they have people that write for them. And I saw this interesting article that this one guy was complaining about playoff seeding in Major League Baseball. So I thought I'd throw this out. And I have a graphic here. This is what they showed on that article. Currently, the way playoffs have worked, the increased number of wild cards, keeping more clubs in the hunt, which is a good thing. But this author feels the playoff format is kind of flawed in that if you win a division, you're locked into a top 3 seed. But this year, especially in the American League, the Central and the West are not that good. Yeah. So what you see at the top is the current playoff format where the Chicago White Sox would get a bye, and meanwhile the Yankees and the Red Sox, who are better than the White Sox, would have to play each other in a wild card matchup. So his revised seeding would be what you see below based on winning percentage. Tampa Bay still is number 1, but in this seeding situation, the Yankees get a bye, and the Red Sox get home field advantage against the Rangers, and the White Sox would take on the Astros. So he also says you have to reseed. So let's say, for example, the Red Sox beat the Rangers and the Astros beat the White Sox. The Yankees would get the Red Sox, the higher seed, and the lower seed either way would go to Tampa. So my question to you, do you think that something like this would be better than our current system, or would you rather keep the current system, or doesn't any of this really matter?
We get this debate with the NFL too, where you'll have like a particularly weak division winner who gets,
under 500 home game.
Yeah, I think the system as it is fine. There's merit to this. Like if they did switch to it, I wouldn't complain. I'd be like, all right, let's see how this goes. But I don't think the current system as it is flawed enough that you need to tinker.
I'm with you. I think this is a symptom of this year. I did not have the time, nor did I have the wherewithal to go back and track maybe like the last 5 years of both American and National League playoffs, where, excuse me, if you win if you're a second place in your division, but you would have won another division, did you deserve a bye? And because of the balanced schedules now, I don't think that's as big a deal. If it was my world and the American League didn't play the National League at all, and you kind of stayed within your division more often, I would say maybe. But I don't know. This really feels like you're looking at a symptom of 2026, and next year it might not matter. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, someone's going to get a raw deal every year, and the people who are proposing this are the ones who are getting a raw deal at the moment. You know,
If you currently look at the National League just happens to like if they're the top three: Milwaukee, Los Angeles, Atlanta. They just happen to be the division leaders right now.
right?
So this would not even be a thing in the National League. I think it's just it's a product of, we've said it for a couple weeks now, how poor the American League has been comparatively. But the American League is about to get a lot more interesting this week, I think. Boston comes to New York, 4-game series. How excited are you about this?
Yeah, Boston's cooled off a little bit, but they're still playing pretty good baseball. They walked off the Giants last night. They had a fun one. They won 3-2. And I think this is a good litmus test to see, as we're making our way into September, where Boston is, because this is a potential playoff matchup.
Right now, I think this is the playoff matchup, and
yeah,
and
it's probably going to stay locked in. As Tampa seems, unless they have a collapse, they're going to win these.
Tampa's 3 games up on New York, should be 2 games up on New York, but they're 3-7 in their last 10. They've lost 3 in a row, and Baltimore's really doing New York a favor. New York sweeps Baltimore, and then Baltimore, well, they've split the series so far. Oh no, Tampa Bay lost last night too. So Baltimore really helping us out. New York has a big series against Houston before Boston comes to town. Like, New York's part of this 10-game homestand. The biggest problem for them still is now injuries. Ryan McMahon just got put on the list, and he's hoping to be out for 10. Ryan Weathers, who really stepped up when Max Fried got hurt, he only lasted 3 1/3 yesterday against the Blue Jays, left with forearm discomfort. But, I mean, if you look at just how important Ryan Weathers was, his last 5 starts, 29 1/3 innings, it's about 6 innings per start, a 21-8 strikeout to walk ratio, only allowed 1 home run in a win, and the Yankees won 3 of his 5 starts, and they could have won yesterday. Yesterday was a close game. They've picked it up since the last 10 games. The Boston series is gonna it's gonna speak volumes about who hosts the wild card, if that is in fact the wild card, or let me see, who does Tampa have coming up after Baltimore today? Because, I mean, neither New York nor Boston is really out of it.
I think
the Rays go to Detroit, then they have San Diego, so like they're not gimme games.
Is Boston? They're like 7.5 back at Tampa?
6 out.
6 out.
I mean, like that feels like a lot, but I mean, I don't know if let me see if Boston plays Tampa. I mean, that's how you pick up games.
Sure, you can pick up 3 or 4 if you sweep a series.
They have 3 games in Tampa about the end of September 18th.
Okay.
I mean, you'll see where you are then. If you're within 4, then anything can happen.
Yeah, and I mean, the way San Francisco has struggled this year, I get to watch them again tonight. Hopefully Boston gets to close out that series with another win. where I think they're throwing Sonny Gray tonight because they threw Patrick Sandoval last night. So it should be Gray up back to one in the rotation. And then, you know, you get the Yankees, you get the Tampa, you know, what would you say, around the 18th?
Yeah, 18, 19, 20.
Yeah. It's really... It's really just amazing to me that we're in this position to talk about Boston being able to jockey for position to possibly contend with Tampa for the division.
After like when we were doing the show back in April and May, you would almost punt it on the season. You're like,
I think ownership almost punted on the season before they got hot right before the break.
True. And you won 30 out of like 35 games. That'll turn. If there was a movie to be made about this year's Red Sox, that would be like the 20-game streak in Moneyball.
Yeah. This it would be like Major League, where the town of Cleveland is like, oh my God, these guys are actually pretty good.
They have a picture of Rafael Devers that they're pulling stuff off of.
Yeah,
you guys stink. The other cool thing, at least in terms of baseball, we skipped over it in the baseball thing. Big time pitching matchup. I think it was Friday. Mizorowski and Chris Sale, Boston, the Brewers, 2-1 win for the Brewers. And I like that because you know what? When I start doing like show research with what's going on in Major League Baseball, I find some really weird and interesting blogs. I'm starting to dislike Braves fans. I don't know why. They get on my nerves. I think it was the Max Fried story that I saw. The Braves knew what Max Fried was, and now the Yankees have to suffer with him. Shut up.
Well, yeah, that's just, you know, hindsight 2020 and all that. You know,
they said he has problems with blisters. His elbow or his shoulder is hurt. It has nothing to do with blisters. Injuries happen.
I'll tell you what. You talk about teams that looked like they were running away with it. Atlanta's not a sure thing in the NL East because the Phillies are red hot. They've won what, 8 in a row, 9 in a row?
Question, and it's a question for our producer as we get the standings page back up here. The Philadelphia Phillies, 8 in a row. Holy cow, they're hot.
I was gonna say, ask Jeeves. He always knows.
Ask Jeeves.
Yeah,
that's a 90s throwback for you. Yeah, 8-2 in their last 10, but that's 8 in a row.
Yeah, and I think they're only 3 back.
Yes. That is correct. That might be that's the best race in the National League because the Cubs and the Padres are 7 and 9 games out respectively. So you probably think those races are over.
Milwaukee is wild. Like they're already what, like 82 wins?
81-49.
Yeah, they are tremendous this year.
Oh, so the entire National League Central was pretty good at a time. They've decidedly cooled off. They do have 2 teams under 500. Your other good pennant races, the Rangers are a game out against Houston. That'll probably go down to the wire. I mean, here's the Houston Astros. I said it was a big series for the Yankees. They're 500. They're 65-65. It just happens to be the best team in the West. Like that's.
It's the NFC South of Major League Baseball.
I mean, and listen to this, man. The Toronto Blue Jays are 13 games out of first place. They would be a game and a half out of the AL West. The Red Sox would be 5 games ahead in the NL West.
In the AL West.
Yeah, listen to what I say, not what I mean.
Okay.
Or listen to what I mean, not what I say.
I did twice there.
I think I was hitting the head there for a second, but it's speaking of getting hit. So I had a hard time this week. I don't know about you, but it was as good a week as I think I've had because today's list I'm really nitpicking. I think it's a video. You have to see this to believe it. And I think this lady is going to make my list because of my experience coaching in middle school football. So I want you to check this out. Here she comes. Right-hand side of your screen. There's a flag down, and she does not like the play, and she just whacks this kid. Look at this.
Wow.
Can you imagine? And now there's coaches on the field, and the guy on the left is like, I don't know what he's doing. He's super mad at her, or he's super mad at the refs. That guy is just fired up, and now the flag comes out. So one more time so you see this. So the flag probably on the play, and this girl comes and just whacks number 9, pushes him down. I don't know if that's a mother or a sister or what. It's tough to tell.
Yeah, what's the beef?
Is she the cheerleading coach? Because she appeared to be on the field and she's going back to talk to the cheerleaders. Either way, lady, it's middle school football.
It's not that serious.
Calm down.
Yeah. Maybe
You just
like
made the list.
a nice cup of tea is always relaxing.
Oh my gosh.
Yoga can do wonders for the mood.
When I was coaching, the angriest I think we ever got was there was a situation where we were playing on the road and there were no referees, but a bunch of fans came out of the stands and they're like, "Will ref, we can do." It was October. I know it because they had pink wristbands. They're like, we can use the pink wristbands as flags, and we're like, somebody's gonna get hurt. Like, but yeah, fine, we'll play. It was like a glorified scrimmage. And one of the idiot fans made some stupid call, and our head coach yelled at him, and he said, "These are his exact words. You are now off my Christmas but you're not getting an Easter basket or not getting a Christmas basket or something like ridiculous. Like, why are you acting like this in a middle school football game?" So
yeah,
I had a hard time finding somebody to put on the list. It was a good week in that respect.
I have someone to put on the list. I've been riding I have a trail bike, and I've been riding around town a little bit for exercise.
Okay.
And I was riding down by the fairgrounds last night when some guy in a truck yelled, "Pedal faster!" So that guy goes on the list, I guess. That's obnoxious.
Back in the day, you would have had to give me his license plate. What kind of truck was it?
Yeah, I just know it was a red truck, but
truck. He's probably an Ohio fan.
yeah.
Ohio fan with truck. You're on the list.
Yeah, we'll find you.
And conversely, with making the list, I also had a hard time restoring my faith in humanity. So I had one in the TV world. We say in the can. Like, I don't know when this was from. It's a cool video, though, and it makes me feel good that if there's ever a fire or an emergency, that firefighters are badass dudes. I want you to check out this video, man. There's cool music. That's tough. Let me pick up these weights and run across one of their hoses. This is like the firefighter Olympics.
Interesting.
Look at the ladder. Look at this. Absolutely insane. Let's all get some water. They fill up a 5-gallon bucket. Look at this.
That's pretty impressive.
This is incredible stuff. Like, we knew some guys back in the day in high school who were volunteer firefighters. None of them were this badass.
Wow.
None of them. Like, our buddy Jeff was a volunteer firefighter. He was not climbing a ladder like this. Look at this insanity. First of all, I'm terrified of heights. I could never do this. He's up that ladder in 2.8 seconds.
It's funny. That guy looked almost like he was pole vaulting.
Yeah, at the beginning, we didn't get a good shot of this guy fighting the fire coming out. Look at that. Insane. Absolutely nuts. So that's my faith in humanity restored for this week.
Interesting choice to go with a cover of Zombie by the Cranberries.
You know what? I think that's like that's a TikTok thing where, you know, you can look up that song. There's a lot of videos that have that kind of vibe to them. And it's like the techno version of it. It's not like the actual version, I don't think.
No, yeah, that's not the original.
All right, quick hitter time. Are you ready?
I am more than ready.
Here we go. The Westchester Little League team suffered their first loss in the Little League World Series. New Jersey getting a 3-1 win. PA back in action tomorrow. Elimination game against Alabama. Alabama versus Pennsylvania in college football is usually Roll Tide, but let's go Pennsylvania tomorrow.
Yeah, I said last week, it's always just a little better when there's a Pennsylvania team in the Pennsylvania event. So, fighting an uphill battle, but you'd like to see them beat Alabama.
Well, they beat Alabama, and I mean, you now it's like the tournament. You have to win to move on. Number two, controversy in Billport on Friday. Iowa versus California. Iowa's up 1-0, and Iowa starter Cooper Thisson struck out 15, didn't allow a hit in 5 1/3 innings, but he had to get taken out because of pitch counts. California loads the bases, 2 outs, full count. Are you ready? I have video of this. Check this out. Oh, hit the play button, Jamel. So, look at this 3-2 pitch.
And he got it!
Called a strike.
A classic from Cooper.
Called a strike.
That's that Eric Gregg strike zone.
Go back to this one more time. Just, does it hit the corner? I don't know. Where does the ball cross as we go frame by frame here? That doesn't feel...
No. That would have hit a left-handed hitter.
It feels a touch outside. But in Little League, generally, the umpires have a wider zone. What are your thoughts?
Terrible call. We were just saying about not getting too excited about middle school football, so let's keep it in reason here. But, come on, Blue. That's not a plate, that's a table. Come on.
But a no-hitter for Iowa. They get the win. Number 3. The Bears and the Eagles both lost their Week 2 preseason game. Caleb Williams played a series. The Eagles held all their starters out because they had joint practices with New England. But a rough story, Jaquindon Jackson is trying to make the Eagles suffered an injury making a tackle on the kickoff. I couldn't find a video of the actual play, but I'm assuming it was a head or a neck injury because they had good news today about him being able to move.
Yeah, took a knee to his head on the opening kickoff. They did. From what I saw this morning, they did imaging, and he's back with the team. He's not at the hospital, so it sounds like best case scenario. That he's at least been discharged.
Thumbs up for him. Number 4, the Jets went through the entire 2025 season without intercepting a pass, but they finally picked off a quarterback on Friday.
Oh, bingo!
593 days since the last one, but it doesn't count because it was preseason, so let's all laugh at the Jets.
Can the Jets do one of those like they have in factories, like 8 days without an accident? Can they have like a little board in the locker room? Like it's been X amount of days since our last interception.
X number of days before the last. It's a great idea. I mean, let's speak that into.
Fans need to do that at MetLife this year, like where they could just roll over. It's been X amount of pass attempts since an interception.
Somebody working for the Elias Sports Stat business, they could probably figure out how many pass attempts it's been. That's amazing. Last thing for pro football, and I just saw this on TikTok today. It's not new news, but Super Bowl 61 is scheduled for Sunday, February 14th, 2027 in Inglewood, California. Guys, maybe you should start having that conversation right now. Just saying.
Yeah, you can go out to a nice early dinner before the game.
There you go.
The Super Bowl is no excuse to slack on your relationships, people.
There you go. Number 6. A picture here for you. Mark Zuckerberg bought a castle in Ireland. I don't know if you saw this. Strand Cally Castle is now his. The purchase price was not listed, but I want you right now, Tim, to look at this uncropped picture from the Irish Times. The Irish Times reported the news on Thursday, and they estimated what this estate could be worth. What do you estimate this whole thing is worth? I don't know acreage. I don't know square footage. I just know the picture that the Irish Times published.
I'll guess 60 million.
60 million. That's your guess.
Yes.
The Irish Times estimated it could be worth 23 to 35 million dollars. So my question to you is, at $35 million, why don't more celebrities buy castles?
That's a great question. I mean, clearly, I would pay twice that. So
I mean, honestly, what's the old phrase? If I won the $1 billion Powerball, I don't think I would tell anybody, but there might be clues.
Has Jen signed off on this?
I don't care.
She was getting into when she married me.
If she wants to live in Chambersburg, I can summer in Manhattan in Castle Grayskull. I think she would be down for Manhattan living. I don't know if Castle Grayskull would work, but I don't look how awesome that is right there on 131st Street.
I like your expression in that picture. Like, not too bad.
Last one, and it's more Pat McAfee just for you. Word on the street: ESPN is exploring options to create another alternate broadcast for Monday Night Football. The Manning brothers do their alternate broadcast, and that's not going to change. But ESPN is looking to add 4 weeks of Pat McAfee broadcasting Monday Night Football. Would that be a good move for ESPN and or Pat McAfee? I
mean, look, clearly there's a market for what he's doing. I'm not that market, but
do you want to rip off his shirt for the NFL?
Oh, I'm so mad. You're paying the guy $60 million. You might as well work him like a government mule. Go for it.
I still think that my idea on putting an NFL game on HBO and having 2 just drunk, belligerent fans call the game. Can you imagine like the Raiders and the Giants playing a game on Monday night with a drunk Raiders fan and a drunk Giants fan just cursing at each other?
Yeah, I would have watched like more of last night's Eagles-Patriots game if it had been like, Bill Burr and like 2 like comedians who are fans of the teams and just 2 people just talking junk to each other on HBO. I absolutely watch that.
I think that would be that would be TV gold right there. Speaking of TV gold, it is Soup and Meatball draft time. What are we drafting today?
Well, you'd said it's back to school time, so we're going to stick with that theme, and we are going to draft our favorite high school movies.
No, so movies about high school, not movies that were movies when we were in high school.
Correct.
Cool.
Yeah, and not movies
otherwise,
made
my
by
list
high
would have
school
been
students. Yeah.
Or movies made by high school students. The High Price of Knowing is not a high school movie.
It's not, but it is cinema gold.
It absolutely is. Number and color.
5 black.
Black. So you said black. 1,
I
2,
did.
3, 4. There's no question. The Marshall Plan is a heart, so that is in fact red. The Marshall Plan of 1948. As World War II ended in 1945, Europe was in ruins. In the 2 years after the war, Soviet control of Eastern Europe and the vulnerability of Western European countries to Soviet expansionism heightened the sense of crisis. U.S. Secretary of State George Marshall proposed that the U.S. provide economic assistance to the European nations for their reconstruction. So on December 19th, 1947, Harry Truman sent Congress a message that followed these ideas to provide economic aid. President Truman signing this, which would later be called the Marshall Plan. A lot of text on that one.
But full of good information.
Indeed. That's, if nothing else, that's what we're about here on Soup and Meatballs, informing the people. So my when I first thought of any of these movies, I think my favorite of any kind of high school age movies, if I see it on like TNT or TBS, one of these things, I will sit and watch the whole thing, despite the fact that Ben Affleck is quite possibly the biggest douche in the world. Give me Dazed and Confused.
It was number one on my list too.
Oh, was it really? No kidding.
It was, yeah.
That's kind of surprising. So you have your, I forget his name now. Whoever the pitcher for the San Francisco Giants was that had the hair, not Tim Lincecum.
Tim Lincecum.
Was it Tim Lincecum? You have that kid who kind of looks like him. That's like his coming of age type movie, but it was nothing like what high school was for us. Like we didn't get assaulted by the seniors.
And
I don't think.
The other thing with that movie is the number of before they were stars in that movie. Because you mentioned Ben Affleck. That was before McConaughey blew up.
It was in there.
A young Parker Posey is in that movie. Just
throwing ketchup and mustard on the girls on the ground.
Yeah.
Before they took him to the drive-in car wash.
That's the way America did it in the 70s.
In 1976, that's what it was. We were going to go to the moon tower, and the other thing is like the football coaches and the tight bike pants. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
oh yeah,
that was Jimmy Drumheller back in the day. he had those same shorts.
In many ways, Hazleton of the 90s is not unlike the 70s.
They went from the 70s right to the 2010s.
Yeah. Jimmy Drumheller in the shorts with the dip in.
Coach Rabbits was a tough guy, but he never kicked the ball into somebody's nuts.
That's true. Even he knew there was a line.
I don't know that he knew the line, but
I'm gonna go.
Where's the number one?
Boy, there's so many choices here, but I think I'm gonna go with Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Come on, type it in there. That's a classic, and you're never gonna guess how many times I've seen that. An embarrassing number of 0.
It's another movie that was a lot of, before they were stars, because you get Sean Penn, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Phoebe Cates, Judge Reinhold, like all these people who hadn't become stars yet. But Sean Penn, like what McConaughey is to Dazed and Confused, like the performance that everyone remembers, that's Sean Penn in Fast Times. Yeah.
So I've seen clips of him bringing the pizza to class.
Yeah.
That's Mr. like I guess maybe his big thing is like I'm eating some pizza and learning some history or something.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much school has changed in that, can you imagine, like outside of Nataro's class and getting Chinese food, can you imagine bringing a pizza to like Mr. Saheda's class? You can't bring pizza to class right now, but like you can eat in class. Like that's a thing that people don't care about anymore.
And, I think you would also be shocked how dark the movie is, because it is a comedy, but I think you would be surprised if you ever watch it at one particular storyline.
It's not that I wouldn't. I haven't gone around to it. 1982. It was from 1982, so like I was 4 at the time. What is so special about it? Cheesy teen comedy, honest, coming of age story. Yeah, sure. Totally fair. And the Spicoli character, like the little smirk that he has as a teacher, I would probably get along with a goofball like that. But the history teacher, I don't think didn't like him very much.
Mr. Hand and Spicoli end up coming to an understanding.
That's fair. My number 2 is, I guarantee you've seen it, so that's fine. It may or may not be on your list. I don't know. But it's been in the news more recently, sadly, because one of the stars of the movie just recently passed at 36. I'm going to take Hayden Panettiere's dad, who gets pushed over for Remember the Titans.
Oh, sure.
I don't know if people look at it as, it's not like a high school movie, but it's a high school movie. And
It absolutely qualifies.
But it's all over my TikTok now. So I like the football scenes that they record when Ronnie Bass goes in at quarterback. This is the most recent one I saw. Ronnie Bass goes in at quarterback, and Coach Boone says something about his 12 brothers and sisters, and the assistant coach is like, "You got 12 brothers and sisters?" He's like, "No, 8." The coach is like, "Yeah, 12 sounds better." But then Ronnie Bass tells Louis Lastik, let the guy through, don't block him. And all he does is ducks, and the guy flips over him and is injured or something. Like, I never understood that.
And I was talking about before they were stars. Can we talk about Ryan Gosling as a very ineffective?
Absolutely.
And I want to specify, not ineffective acting, ineffective as a defensive back.
He was a liability.
He was. He should have been cut.
If you look at the cast and like their pictures now, the guy who plays Gary Bertier, Ryan Hurst, has like this big Viking beard. Looks nothing like what Gary Bertier looked like. I saw an interview with Wood Harris, the guy who played Julius Campbell, and he was talking about working with Denzel Washington and how awesome it was. He still looks like Julius Campbell all these years later.
Donald Faison.
He went on to a great career in a hospital.
He still looks sort of the same.
No.
He's aged well.
What do I remember Will Patton from? The guy who played Coach Yost. Oh, Armageddon. He saved the world.
Yeah, he's a pretty prolific character actor.
Yeah. He was up in the shuttle though, along with Bruce Willis. Saved us from the giant meteor.
So that I will tell you. Remember the Titans was not on my list.
How about that? We got a new one then.
My number 2 pick, I'm going to stick with an R-rated comedy. I'm going to go with Superbad.
So that was on my list. Yeah, good stuff there.
Yeah, it's.
Tell me about it. What would you like about it?
It was not my high school experience.
No, no.
But it was funny watching their high school experience. I think now, 20 years after the fact, it's hard to underestimate how funny, just like as a concept, McLovin was.
I was going to ask you, do we know anybody who could have been McLovin?
Huh. That's a great question, and it's a tough question because to say yes, it's not necessarily because McLovin's kind of annoying. It's not
he was annoying, but they still hung out with him though. Like the last time we considered somebody from high school who, like, I don't think I knew a McLovin back in the day, which means I was probably the McLovin.
Right. It's like
if you're playing poker and you don't know who the sucker is, you're the sucker.
Yeah. Boy, now I'm going to be asking myself all day if I was McLovin.
I'm looking over the cast. Bill Hader was in this.
A young Emma Stone.
Emma Stone was there.
Pre 2 Oscar winner Emma Stone.
But Seth Rogen doing Seth Rogen stuff. He was one of the cops. And Jonah Hill before he became a executive with the Oakland A's.
Yeah. We're very limited in what we can talk about with this movie on a family-friendly podcast.
Sure. Listen, it was on my list. It was absolutely entertaining.
It earns every bit of its R rating.
Language and content, sure. I'll tell you what. I think it was like the next logical step in maybe another movie we might talk about. I'm gonna my number 3. I tell you what, I see this on TV. For some reason, it's not as funny as if I don't know if there's like an uncensored version of it. Um, I love Napoleon Dynamite,
Oh yeah.
and really just for Uncle Rico. When when I was coaching, there was always an Uncle Rico kid who would always like if I played, we'd win states. Hey,
I could
watch
throw
me
a
throw
ball
this.
over those mountains over there.
Let me throw this ball over the mountain. But when Napoleon does that goofy dance at the end, that's like one of the most iconic movie things that now high school kids try to emulate when they do like homecoming skits. At least in my world, like when he's done, he just so awkwardly walks off the screen. Like that amuses me. So I'm going to put Napoleon Dynamite on my list.
And it's like if you were to try to describe to someone what's funny about it, like someone who hasn't seen it,
Nothing.
It would be hard to describe because it's such a particular, unique sense of humor about that movie. Weird and dry, and but very funny.
Weird and dry is a good way to put it. That's Uncle Rico, John Grease, good for that guy.
And who else he played? What other role he's famous for?
He was in Men in Black.
He was Ben Linus's father on Lost, who gets gassed and left in the van.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I would, when I see the scene, I would probably know it, but yeah, it's such a small part.
Yep. He's Roger Linus.
Good. Uncle Rico Linus. Good for him.
I'm going to go for number 3. It's just a movie I can't resist. I love the movie because I really love Tina Fey. It's Mean Girls.
Oh, okay. Well, so I didn't make my list, but I was in my research. I saw it a bunch. I saw the Broadway / musical about 5 times in a 2-year span, and I got over Mean Girls in a hurry.
It's the movie is just so enjoyable.
I wonder how different the movie is from the musical. It can't be. I mean, the story's got to be similar.
I haven't seen the movie musical came out a couple of years ago. I haven't seen that one, so I've seen no versions of the musical adaptation of the movie.
The musical came out. That was 2024. The movie is 2004.
Yeah.
Good and a good cast here too. Rachel McAdams and Lindsay Lohan back in the day before.
Tina Fey and Tim Meadows as faculty, and Amy Poehler as Rachel McAdams' mom.
Okay.
Lizzie Kaplan as Janice.
Anna Gossyer's in there?
Yeah, she plays Lindsay Lohan's mom. Her and Neil Flynn, the janitor from Scrubs.
There he is. I see him.
Yeah, he's Lindsay Lohan's dad.
So, a solid cast, and, the Mean Girls get their comeuppance, because of course they do. And again, it makes me... Did we have plastics when we were in high school?
100%. And I will tell you exactly one name sprang immediately to mind that I will tell you as soon as we're done. As soon as that live button goes off. I'm gonna write it down right now. Don't forget. That's fair.
So number 4, I've got a lot of places I can go. And you know what? I'll go with this one, which is it's probably not one that you would imagine. She has been in a lot of these high school movies. We're going to take another Emma Stone movie. I'm going to go with Easy A.
That's a good one.
Easy A is a really interesting story about, the whole situation of, who's hooking up with girls faster and first. And this girl turns it into a thing, and it shows how quickly those kind of rumors can kind of mess with your life, and the way she handles it is pretty wild. And then the whole situation with guidance and that thing notwithstanding, I liked it, the fact that they're like the kids got together at the end, and I think he rode over to her house on a lawnmower. If I'm unless I'm confusing movies together, which is entirely possible.
It's a very underrated movie. It's kind of a clever play on the Scarlet Letter, like a modern take on the Scarlet Letter. And a lot of times, we were just talking about Anna Gasteyer and Neil Flynn and Amy Poehler as the parents. We get a great performance from Stanley Tucci as Emma.
Stanley Tucci as the dad. I like Stanley Tucci. He's all right.
He's always delightful whenever he shows up in something. Except for the Lovely Bones, where he plays a murdering pedophile. Otherwise, he's delightful.
Okay. It makes Stanley Tucci was in Kingsman, wasn't he? He was definitely in Kingsman. In Kingsman 2, Kingsman 2 was the worst thing that ever happened to him, and I haven't forgiven Kingsman 2 for that. He was also an Inside Man. He's in a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before about Will Patton, Stanley Tucci might be the best character actor going in Hollywood right now.
Good thing for Easy A getting us talking about him, but the dance little thing at the end of Easy A that she does, as someone who's been to dozens of high school pep rallies, that would never happen. You have to suspend belief a lot for that. Administration would be all over that.
And I think this gives us a good chance to say that Emma Stone has this very particular kind of awkward charm about her. Like, she feels believably like a high school kid.
Yeah. So like, watching that movie, you could suspend disbelief that this girl's actually in high school. Yeah.
All right,
that's my 4.
I'm taking from my number 4. I will take. I don't know if you've seen this one. If you have, I'm going to say because Bill Murray's in it. I'm going to take Rushmore.
So I saw it once, and I think that was the part of Murray's career where he was going to try to win an Academy Award, because that was like his transition to
like the melancholy Bill Murray.
Yeah, I think maybe Lost in Translation was the first one.
No, Lost in Translation came after. So Rushmore was a movie that came out in 98.
Rushmore, 1998. Yep.
And there was a lot of buzz that he would be nominated for an Oscar for that. He was not.
Oh, Lost in Translation was 2003? Holy cow.
And then he did like Broken Flowers with Jim Jarmusch and like a couple other movies like that. But even though I love Lost in Translation, I think Rushmore is the first and best of those Bill Murray roles. I love him as the middle-aged guy who's just kind of given up on life. And, is in a lot of ways sort of energized by his rivalry. First his friendship, then his rivalry, then his friendship again with Jason Schwartzman's Max Fisher, and the little romance that he has with Olivia Williams. Just a fun, quirky little movie. A lot of great performances. Very funny. Another movie that's very dry.
And I think I've seen it once, and it was one of those that I don't like this, but I don't dislike it either.
Yeah.
Like I had a hard time quantifying in my head how it made me feel, if that makes sense. It wasn't like the prototypical Bill Murray movie, so it was hard for me to wrap my head around, do I like this?
Yeah, it's that very distinct sort of Wes Anderson, the writer-director sensibility. And just an all-timer of a soundtrack too, especially if you like British invasion music.
Yeah, it's especially if you like that particular style.
Yeah.
Cool. So, who's coming down here? Hey, it's my little girl. So, number 5 for me. there's three movies that I have to go with, and you know, I'm going to take the other sports movie that I listed down here because Coach Carter, I think it might be my favorite basketball movie.
Wow.
Samuel L. Jackson is really good. The storyline is really good, and you get one of those not so happy endings. Like it's not like, hey, we win the state title, yay! No,
Yeah.
it's the realistic version of it. In an area where the parents were like big on let these kids play. Playing basketball might be the best thing that ever happened to them, and Carter's like, no, it doesn't have to be like that. And whether the kids, I also like movies where at like the very end they say this is what happened to them. This
Yeah.
kid wanted to do this. I like that, so I'm going to take Coach Carter.
Yeah, and that's a movie that succeeds because they just put the entire movie on Samuel L. Jackson's shoulders, and he carries it because he's really fantastic in that movie.
I would love to see a director's cut of Coach Carter where Samuel L. Jackson drops the F-bomb 10,000 times.
I would also, I hope there's like deleted footage that exists somewhere.
How can there not be?
I'm tired of all these. Well, I can't even finish that sentence. I could barely start it.
You could, but everybody knew where it was going. So
I've got a lot of ways I can go with my last pick. I'm gonna go. I'll go with Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
I was kind of wondering like how long it was going to take at least one of us to get there, because that almost feels like the quintessential high school movie of our era.
Yeah, and I almost put Back to the Future on my list, but I don't know if it's quite a high school movie.
No,
like
it's
Marty
not.
McFly's in high school, but I don't consider that a high school movie.
No, not at all.
I thought that would have been kind of cheating a little bit. But Ferris Bueller absolutely qualifies.
But Ferris Bueller wasn't in high school either.
What's that?
Ferris Bueller's not.
Right, he wasn't physically in the building.
He was not in the high school. I think we saw more of Marty McFly in high school.
Well, we also saw more of Marty McFly trying to hook up with his mother. So.
Oh, that's
sorry, trying desperately not to hook up with.
Not to. No, but Ferris Bueller is. I think if you're ranking like high school movies, it's definitely worthy of being in a top 10, if not like on a Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, you need some sort of John Hughes, whether it's Ferris Bueller. I'm not a huge fan of The Breakfast Club.
I didn't see The Breakfast Club, so like I wasn't going to put that on my list. I didn't see what was the John Hughes trilogy besides these two?
16 Candles?
I didn't see 16 Candles either.
It's fine for what it is.
It's but when you still have like people saying the words Bueller, like in relation to someone not paying attention to you.
Yeah.
That's when you know you've made a mark.
That's really, I think, again, talking about before they were stars, I think that's what introduced us to Ben Stein.
And the talking to the I think that was like the first instance of like breaking the fourth wall in a really successful way.
No, that's been done for decades before that.
Not for me. I mean, it's the first one I saw.
But yes,
I'm the only one that counts here.
Also, for the end credits, like go home, the movie's over. Like
what are you doing here?
Sort of like meta commenting on itself thing. Yeah.
Good list. The only other movie I had here on the list that I'm surprised it didn't go. Yeah, I think it led the way into a movie like Superbad was American Pie.
Oh yeah, that's funny because that's not on my list.
But it was there for me to take, and I think I went with that was about the time I went with Easy A because I thought that was a little bit it was different. So
yeah,
no, but American Pie, you get that group of kids who it's at the end of their senior year, and Eugene Levy as the dad. Forget about it. That's funny stuff.
I've got a couple here. I've
go
got
ahead.
Election with Reese Witherspoon, a movie I really like.
Awkward as all hell.
Clueless, which is such a good movie.
Yeah.
Again, a lot. It's the case with a lot of these high school movies where they take a classic story that's Jane Austen's Emma, just adapted into high school. Say Anything with John Cusack. He holds the boombox up over his head for Ione Sky. And then I don't know if a lot of people would think of this as a high school movie, but I love the movie Carrie. It's a horror movie with Sissy Spacek.
Oh, Carrie. I think you said Carrot. No, Carrot.
Oh, no. Yeah, Carrie. Yeah.
Yeah, that movie Carrot's a good one. It's right up there with Broccoli. No,
and when
I
Carrot goes crazy and kills everyone at the prom.
I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, who can't relate to a telekinetic freak? So there you go.
If you can't spot the telekinetic freak in your friend group, just saying, McLovin.
Nope, not working. So, good draft. Top 4+1 time. So, where did this come from? Because you sent me a picture.
It was a tweet I saw from the very funny Twitter account Super 70s Sports.
Okay.
Where I can't remember his wording, but he basically said, like, what's something that you didn't understand the appeal of when you were a kid that adults like, that now that you're an adult, you get it?
Yeah. So I wrote down from your text, name something you didn't understand adults enjoying when you were a kid that you totally get now. And it was either that or something like drafting teachers or something like that. And I thought I was driving when Derek was driving. I was looking at my phone. I was like, this looks interesting enough that like it's going to require some thought. Yeah, it required a lot of thought from me. Like okay. I struggled to come up with 5 here, but I actually have 6.
Oh, okay.
So there's that. What I don't have them ranked at any kind of thing here, but what do you have for yours?
Yeah, I don't have them like ranked in terms of like, oh, this is the thing I like the best. It was just as they occurred to me. But number 1's coffee.
I also have coffee on my list. And what's funny about that is I don't drink coffee as an adult.
Oh, I've already had 1 cup this morning. Yeah,
but I get it though.
I remember being like maybe 7 or 8, and my mom having a cup of coffee, and I was like, "Can I try that?" And I was like, "Oh, this is, like, why?"
Mom, what are you doing to yourself?
And like now as an adult, I'm like, no, this is a great way to start the day. I love this.
So I thought about this, because I wrote it on my list, about kids versus adults and like kind of where high school kids are now, because they're kind of in the middle. They're neither a kid nor an adult, but a lot of them come to school with coffee now. But a lot of them aren't drinking coffee. They're drinking Starbucks version, Kappa Frappa Lappa Vanilla Mocha Sugar.
It's basically a milkshake.
It's a milkshake with caffeine in it. When I wrote down coffee, my first thought was the old dude that came into Debato's, sat at the counter and said, "Give me a coffee, black," and he sat and drank it, and it was not good. But I can drink it now. I have not had a coffee in. I mean, it's been a while. It's been years. I just don't do caffeine. I'm solar. The sun wakes me up.
So I do decaf.
What's the point of that?
The flavor, the smell. But yeah, like with my heart and with my blood pressure, I figure I don't need the extra stimulant.
Totally makes sense.
But it's a great way to start the day.
Okay, so you and I both had coffee down. What else you got?
This is one we also might both have written down because I love a good nap.
Okay, so I also have written down, but I'm on the absolute other end of the spectrum. I hate naps. They just happen.
Oh.
Then on the other hand, my wife will wake up, she'll drink her energy drink, she'll check her email, and then she'll want to take a nap.
I'm with Jen on this one, except on the energy drinks.
The problem with naps for me, and it happens especially during the school year, I'll go to school, I'll work, really hard. I come home and I sit on the chair and I can feel it happening. and I'm like, I got to fight this. I don't want to get up though.
You're
And
like a toddler.
if I take a nap, I have a hard time going to bed at night, like for my bedtime.
I don't.
It's a great energy boost. And over the summer, if like you want to stay up to 2, 3 in the morning, yeah, it's great. Absolutely. But if I have to wake up for school the next day, a nap is definitely detrimental. Like if I take a nap today after the moving and the disassembly of wood, yeah, Monday morning's going to be tough.
Yeah, especially now that I'm a day shift person. Like naps weren't as much of a thing when I worked at the paper, but now that I'm up, I'm usually up at like 6:30 or 7 most mornings now. So, especially like today, like I'm sure there will be a time where I'll be on the couch just kind of.
So how is napping for you? Like you said, you like this. Do you nap sitting up?
No, I'll be on the couch. Sometimes I can nap sitting up because I've got my.
You just say the hell with it, I'll lay down.
Well, so like I'll probably be watching a game later. I'll be on the couch and then I'll just nod off.
Panama, Venezuela will put you to sleep. Little League World Series.
Yeah, or I think the Yankees have a 1:00 game on Peacock today.
Oh, there you go. That'll do it. No, I remember distinctly, like during lockdown in 2020, sitting on the couch and just like sleeping, and my neck would like go like this, and I would wake up in such pain.
Yeah,
like napping hurt. But on the chair over there, it's a lot easier to do it, and it happens. It happens a lot. So
this is a pretty good napping chair here, though.
Is it?
Yeah, if I slouch forward a little bit, my feet will reach the coffee table, so I can put my feet up, and then like this is basically like a pillow, nice and soft, sink right in.
Well, we're 2 for 2. What else on the list? Come up with something different here. I got 4 more that. One of them I doubt is on your list. 2 of them I doubt.
I'm gonna go with comfortable shoes. I did not care about the comfort of my shoes when I was a kid.
You're not wrong, and you know what? I'm gonna kind of piggyback. This isn't on my list, but I'm gonna say good socks too.
Oh, I love good socks.
Like, do you appreciate the like a good thick sock right out of the dryer?
Absolutely, especially in winter.
You know how disgusting we sound right now to like 12-year-old David Max?
We sound seasoned and knowledgeable.
We're seasoned. No, so shoe-wise, what's your go-to comfort shoe?
Whew. I don't know if there's a particular brand that I go to. It's more just like when I try it on, I know it. You know?
Now, like, let's talk work. Like, if you're doing presentations, you're walking around a lot. Have you found a good work like dress shoe?
I haven't.
So I have Skechers that are they're loafers. I don't want to mess with laces. I'm too old to be bending over and tying my shoes unless I'm going to the gym. But so like just a push in loafer. We went to it was a funeral a couple years ago out in Pittsburgh, and I forgot my shoe. I forgot my dress shoes because I'm an idiot. And there was a Target right across the street from the hotel we were staying in, and I went to buy a pair of black, like all black dress shoes, and I found these Skechers there that had a like super foam smart insole to it. So like they're good work shoes. If because they look like they're just black, you know, they don't look like sneakers. They feel like sneakers.
What I do sometimes now, because if I'm at the hospital for work, it's like a 15-minute walk from my office out to the lot, just because the hospital's so big. I will like wear my loafers for work, but I'll have like a pair of like workout shoes in my like backpack. Sometimes, whether I have my laptop bag or my backpack.
You have slippers in the office.
Yeah, so yeah. I'll swap out for comfortable shoes for the walk back to my car. Because I'm not at the age yet where I take the shuttle to my car.
You're getting there. So 3 for me. I'm gonna put. I wrote down going to kids events, whether it be dances or concerts. I remember when I was, growing up and Roseanne had her dance recitals or something. I couldn't imagine wanting to go to that. Um, I couldn't imagine wanting to go and watch the high school band do their thing.
Yeah.
Part of having a kid, though, in those events, like I highly doubt I would go to dance recitals if Maria wasn't dancing. But getting to
I hope
go
you
see
wouldn't, to be honest.
getting to go see the kids do their thing, like my dad never missed a little league game, and I think like you take that kind of stuff for granted when you're a kid. You don't quite understand it, but like as an adult, yeah, I understand. Yeah, going to see Derek do his thing, that's kind of neat. Like a couple weeks ago, Jen and I went to Derek's working at Totem Pole Playhouse, and we went to see what show was it? It was about it was a musical about 9/11. I can't think of the name of it, but like there was like a plane that was diverted, obviously because they were all diverted out of the sky after what happened, into like this small island in Canada. And the story is about these people that like they became part of that community. It's a really amazing story. But we saw that musical, and it was just kind of neat to see Derek work. I don't know. So as a kid, I would never think like, oh, my parents came to DeBotto's. They probably just wanted to eat. But I think seeing me cooking their breakfast, I think was kind of neat for them as an adult.
Yeah, I know. Even like when Ryan was doing T-ball, and he was not into it, and he was the kid who would like play in the dirt and look for grasshoppers. But even that was entertaining. Like as a parent, just to just to see how he reacted in those situations. I guess maybe.
Pick the grasshoppers. That's funny. That's my 3.
That's a good one. I'm gonna go with. I maybe got the appeal a little bit when I was a kid, but now it's become my daily addiction. Crossword puzzles.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I can. I will say I can appreciate that because I don't relate to that. I don't do crossword puzzles, but no, I got you.
Yeah, I do multiple crossword puzzles a day.
Are you like the New York Times guy? Like on Sunday, you're gonna say I'm gonna get this one, and
so that's a pay site for the crossword puzzle.
I'm not paying to do a crossword puzzle.
I do the New York Times, the Wordle, Strands. I do their Sudoku, but I do the LA Times crossword puzzle every day, and then I do the New Yorker crossword, and then I subscribe to a print edition of the New Yorker, so I do that once a week too.
LinkedIn has some interesting puzzle games that I've done. There's a game called Cross Climb that I do. Pinpoint, I'll do. I don't do the Sudoku stuff, but there's the Zip. That's kind of interesting to me. So like any kind of like puzzle game, sure. No, I think as a kid I did the word finds a lot. Like they give you like 7,000 letters and you got to do that. Like that was easier for me than 2 across. Give me a 17-letter word for dinosaur that lived in prehistoric times. Like
Brachiosaurus.
If that's 17 letters, that's awesome because I just pulled that number out of my sure. I'll piggyback off of yours a little bit. It's not puzzle games. I'm going to say board games in general. To a certain extent, because as a kid, we grew up with Monopoly, Trouble, Clue, Sorry, stuff like that. But once Nintendo hit, like I think 11 when we got our Nintendo. And like that's really when I took a step back from board games. Like, why would you ever want to do this? And first couple days of school, when you tell the kids, this is me, this is what I like. When I talk about board games, I tell them the story about how I asked my dad to play Baseball Stars, and I beat him 36-0. And he took his butt kicking, and at the end of the game, he said, well, this is never going to happen again, but let me teach you Stratomatic baseball. And we kind of got into this, and I played it a little bit, but it wasn't until high school that I really started playing games with him. And as an adult now, whose hand-eye coordination and the way video games are now just boggles my old-ass mind, I've grown to appreciate board games so much more than I would have when I was, first getting into video games.
I want to imagine an alternate scenario where your dad said, "This is never happening again," and got really, really good at video games.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I was playing with like my version of the Baseball Stars team. So like you, me, Dan, Jeff, John, like my friends were on the team, and I had cranked their stats all the way up.
Yeah.
And he very well may have been playing with the lovely ladies. Like that, it was not fair to start. Plus, I was a real jerk and said you can be the home team because I knew at the end of one inning, even if you had a 10-run lead, the game was going to stop itself.
Right.
And I was thinking to myself, how many runs can I score? And it was 36. But I don't think there was ever a world he was going to get good at video games before he said, let's start rolling dice. It's a funny world we would live in if Bob was over practicing Nintendo while I was at school.
That's a good one, especially for you, just because board games are such a big part of like
my existence now.
Yeah, your life now. For number 5, I'm I could have never imagined when I was a kid that there would be a time that I would be happy to have no plans.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Having absolutely no plans now is like, I'm just gonna sit. I don't even have to put the TV on. I'm just gonna sit. I don't even have to turn the lights on.
like summer break. If there's a day that I have nothing to do, you can't imagine how long I can spend on TikTok.
Yeah,
just watching like mindless movie clips. Here's some Remember the Titans. Here's some Brian Hogan. What's going on with the Yankees? Okay. I can start at noon, and like next thing I know, Jen's like, it's 6:30. Do you want to eat something? Where'd that time go?
Yeah, I'll have to send this to you. I was just introduced to a TikTok account that takes movies of like the 80s and 90s and recasts them with.
I've seen a bunch of those. Yeah, send it over though. A lot of those drive me nuts. Some of them are just really bad.
The two that I've seen so far were pretty good because the one was Caddyshack, and it had like Ryan Reynolds as Ty, like in the Chevy Chase role.
Yeah.
It had Tim Robinson in the Bill Murray role. Sydney Sweeney was Lacey Underall. I'll send it to you because one of them was the other one was The Big Lebowski.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. I thought they did a pretty good job with Lebowski too.
Did they? Okay. Well, I will be the judge of that. Did you have any others? Or did you just stop at 5?
I wrote those 5 down pretty quickly, and I just stopped there.
So for mine, I actually had an epiphany driving to dinner yesterday. I asked my wife. I said, "Can you text me this word?" Because I was driving. Like I wanted to make sure I got on the list. The one thing I had written down here was alcohol. So when I was 4 years old, my mother had a chorale party. Like she was the musical director of this singing ensemble. And former Hazleton councilman Jimmy Ferry was part of this organization. And he was sitting at the kitchen table with us. And he had a can of Pabst Blue Ribbon. I'm like 4 or 5 years old. And I was good at association. I was thirsty. I saw can. I said, can gets rid of thirsty. And I took a drink of it. And I looked up at him and said, why are you drinking this? This tastes terrible. And everybody got a good laugh because, the 4-year-old drank beer. Your taste buds definitely change.
Yeah.
And whether, Pabst Blue Ribbon was a good first beer to have, I spent most of high school, since I didn't drink in high school, thinking all beer basically tasted the same. I thought, that's what it is, because Coke and Pepsi and RC Cola were all essentially the same, so why not beer? But as you get older and your palate changes, there's some beer that actually tastes pretty good, especially on a hot day after you mow the lawn. There's nothing quite like a bottle of Yingling sitting in 97-degree weather. It's phenomenal. And the word I had my wife text me was seafood, because I want you to find a 5-year-old kid that says they like scallops.
I like
I don't think that until you try them, because like you look at that shrimp looks gross. You've got to get past the look and
absolutely.
potentially the smell to say you like it. Now, see, Maria's here. Maria, can you put that down? Come here for a second. No, she's not even listening. Come here. I got a question for you and for the world. 2 questions. Number 1, how old are you? To the world, how old are you?
9.
She's 9. Do you like scallops? Why do you like scallops? Who made you try them?
You.
Me, because I knew. Okay.
Bye.
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 Like until someone almost forces you, like try this. A kid knows. I've never had it, but I know I don't like it. Kids are dumb.
So, and you know the same that experience you had with the PBR. I had that when I was about 5 or 6. My uncle Eddie was drinking a Budweiser, and I asked for a sip, and I couldn't imagine why. You know, all the commercials. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, alcohol's the solution to all my problems."
Uncle Eddie, what are you doing here?
So, you know, alcohol is. Did you have any others?
Alcohol and seafood. That
And
was my
seafood.
5 and 6.
Okay.
But that it was a thought provoking top 5 for us today, at least for me. So, Mr. Smarty Pants time. I have one question and a it's a twist on the list. We'll put it that way
Okay.
because it's not really a list. Question for you. The Little League World Series is going on and again, as we said, up in Williamsport this year. Tim, do you remember what year the first Little League World Series was?
Was it 39?
It wasn't 39. One more shot at it.
I thought it was 39 because then that Little League baseball game came out. I thought for the 50th anniversary in 89.
According to Wikipedia, it was 1947.
Oh.
And here, for our
maybe did Little League baseball start in 39?
Maybe that's fair. But 1947, the Maynard League midget team defeated Lock Haven. Looks like it was 16-7 there in the final. What I want you to do is go back to the first round, that top game there, the original league against the Sunday School League. There was a Sunday School Little League team, and they lost 15-0.
Well, and now for the list, I want you to give me the batting order for the Sunday School, the 1947 Sunday School League team.
Just like Little League Baseball, the video game, Jake led off, followed by Bo, and then Austin.
Big fat Albert batting cleanup.
Who was a level 5 pitcher for the Texas team. I only know Austin is a level 5 pitcher because some guy named Aubrey plays Little League Baseball on TikTok all the time. So there's that. Would you like your list before you do my question?
Yeah,
so,
let's do the list.
So it's not quite a list in that I'm going to give you a set of 5 clues, and you need to pick the movie that I'm trying to describe here. Okay. I saw this on TikTok, so this is the exact clues from the TikTok video I saw, and I have them on the screen so you can kind of read them along with us. So clue number 1 about this movie, someone's routine is interrupted. So you get 5 clues. I'll give you 5 guesses if you want to go along. So if you want to guess the movie now, you can.
Groundhog Day.
Not Groundhog Day. So clue number 2 is a deal is made.
Okay. I'm going to hold off on another guess because I need more information.
Clue number 3, a journey begins.
A journey begins. Okay. I'm still going to need more, I think.
Number 4, appearances can be misleading. Okay. I'm going to hold out for clue 5, I guess. Last clue, A rescue mission can change everything.
Is it The Rescuers? Or The Rescuers Down Under? One of the Rescuers movies?
No, I'm trying to think of like because the movie I thought when I saw this TikTok I thought of a movie, and it was not what the guy was thinking of. The Rescuers. I don't know if that could fit. I thought of the Big Lebowski for this.
Okay.
It's not the Big Lebowski. It's Shrek.
Okay.
There it is. I thought that was like try to change up the trivia for you a little bit, and it was a movie day, so I think the guy has a channel, so I might be able to steal some steal some more content for the show.
Yeah, I love stealing content.
That's what we're here for. So let's see how dumb I can be this week.
Okay, so the first one is your trivia question. What NFL stadium is the smallest by seating capacity?
Wow. 'Cause what's funny to me is like all the stadiums are small compared to like Ann Arbor and like Penn State and Tennessee.
Right, yeah. I mean, college stadiums are like around 110 now.
And like Pittsburgh has like 52 or something. I'll say why not? I'll say Pittsburgh. Just wild guess.
It is not Pittsburgh.
Is it Buffalo and their $2.2 billion stadium? Because that would be funny to me.
No.
Yeah. I could just throw out that cities now with like no rhyme or reason.
It is Soldier Field with 61,500.
Really?
It is 2,000 seats smaller than the next smallest, which is Arizona's State Farm Stadium.
So how many seats are in Soldier Field?
The capacity I had listed was 61,500.
Okay, fair. Acrisure in Pittsburgh is 68.4.
Okay.
Because I remember thinking, well, maybe it's the attendance I see was like at 59,000 or something. Like I always remember thinking like, wow, like why are people not going to the NFL games? Like that's the coolest thing ever. Yeah, the NFL. But like they double it at like University of Tennessee.
Would you care to guess what the largest is?
Is it Acrisure in Pittsburgh at 68,400?
It is not, but it is in the Northeast.
Is it Buffalo's $2.2 billion stadium?
It's MetLife.
Oh, wow.
The Giants and
in
Jets.
Jersey.
Yeah. 82,500.
That's huge by NFL standards.
Yeah.
All right. I'm dumb. I'm 0 for 1 today.
All right.
0 for 2, actually.
So number 2, just because of the time of year it is, and you start to look at who's going to do what home run wise in Major League Baseball. So as of this morning, there are 10 players in the major leagues with 30 or more home runs. How many of the 10 can you get?
Oh, not many. Schwarber and Murakami, probably.
Schwarber has 38. Murakami's not on the list.
Oh, wow. He must. The injury was probably rough. Otani's got to be up there.
Otani has 30.
The guy from the Astros, Alvarez.
Yordan Alvarez has 36. He's second. Tied for second.
Whoever I said. Junior Caminero?
He is fourth with 35.
The Yankees can't have anybody. Is Pete Alonso having a good year in Baltimore?
Pete Alonso has 30. He is also tied with Otani and one other player with 30.
Sadly, I can't think of any. The only Brewer I can think of is Mizorowski, and he's probably closer to giving up 30 home runs than hitting 30 home runs.
There are no Brewers on the list.
I wish I knew who was in the. I wish I could remember back to who was in the home run derby. Gosh, I can't even.
So far, you have 5.
I got half. I feel good about that.
Yeah.
Is Bryce Harper on the list?
No, he's hitting well at the moment, but he's not at 30.
Not overall. How about Nick Kurtz?
That's a strong guess, but Nick Kurtz of the San
I'm
Luis
not-
Obispo A's is not on the list.
Yeah, I'm not even sure that was a strong guess. That was the only A I could think of off the top of my head. All right, give me the other 5.
All right. Tied with Yordan Alvarez with 36 is Matt Olson of the Braves.
You know what? I thought it's got to be a Brave. I just couldn't pick anybody out of their lineup. I got stuck on Chris Sale, which, again, closer to giving up 30 than hitting 30.
This is a guy who I voted for him for the All-Star game. He's very unsung, having a great season for Colorado. Hunter Goodman.
The catcher.
Yeah.
Okay, he was almost a Yankee.
Someone else who is a Yankee, Ben Rice, has 34.
Are you serious?
That's
crazy.
34.
If you would have asked me who leads the team in home runs, I would have said Bellinger probably. I have totally forgot about Ben Rice.
Ben Rice has 34.
Bad fan.
At number 7, right now, the betting odds favorite for National League MVP, PCA.
Oh, okay. That's
He's got 32. And then another guy who kind of gets overlooked, but Washington has been an offensive juggernaut for a lot of the year, James Wood of the Nationals.
I wouldn't have pulled that out. Oh, that's cool.
Yep. So there you go.
Good deal. All right. So you said you had to keep 5, cut 5.
I do have a keep 5, cut 5.
What is our theme this week? Last week's was tough.
Last week's was tough.
Betty.
But you've got Andy Davis, so what are you complaining about? Today would have been the birthday for the late Kobe Bryant, who was born on this date in 1978 in Philadelphia. So for this list, it is going to be keep 5, cut 5, professional athletes who were born in the state of Pennsylvania.
Oh, no kidding. Interesting. Well, let's go with Kobe's number 8.
Number 8, he was born in New Eagle out in Western PA. It's Joe Montana.
I'll tell you what. If I was coaching a football game, life on the line, down by 4, we had the ball with a minute left on our own 20-yard line. There are few quarterbacks who I would rather taking the snaps. I will keep Joe Montana.
Yeah, Joe Montana is a guy who, like, when he retired, he was the guy. He was the greatest quarterback.
And quite possibly the second greatest video game quarterback of all time.
And it feels like now he's been wiped off the Mount Rushmore. People are like, oh, Brady, Manning, Mahomes, Rodgers.
The game has changed statistically, favoring Joe Montana played in an era, and I saw an interview that Lawrence Taylor gave. Like, a lot of these guys might not have survived the football in the 80s.
The famous hit that Montana took in the NFC Championship game.
Leonard Marshall?
Yeah, the Leonard Marshall. It might get flagged now. It was a clean blindside hit.
Yeah.
But now, like, it might be 15 yards on the Giants.
No, absolutely fair. So, yeah, Montana was he was a dog back in the day. Biggest problem, he went to Notre Dame. But we'll keep the Western PA QB legend.
All right. Where are you going next?
Joe Montana won 4 Super Bowls. Let's go to 4.
Number 4, I know how you feel about this guy. The product of Aliquippa, Pennsylvania. It is the coach, Mike Ditka.
Oh, Ditka. Oh, we're going to keep Ditka. Forget about it. I thought you were going for a different coach from Western Pennsylvania. Like, no, he was born in Hazleton. We can cut him all day. Not a problem.
I can tell you now, John Yacino, even though he was a professional athlete, not on the list.
Oh, good. So I don't have to worry about it. No, Ditka was as a player, I didn't know much about him, but the coaching, I think his aura was amplified by Saturday Night Live. But Ditko was always a great soundbite. no, knew the game, tough guy. Yeah, we'll keep Ditka.
All right.
Ditka won one Super Bowl. Let's see what the kid feels about the old number one.
A name that's been in the news a lot, Western PA guy, and maybe an active NFL player any day now. It's Aaron Donald.
You know what? Every week we have our show. We'll be done, and I'll get on like Instagram or something, and it's Aaron Donald working out, and I keep thinking to myself, why didn't we talk about this? I just keep forgetting. I'm going to cut Aaron Donald simply because I see this guy. Remember when we do the spin the wheel and we draft that way? There's a guy on TikTok that does this a lot, and whenever the Rams come up first, like that's always the number one pick, and they always say it's the best defensive player of all time. And I don't know,
Best defensive tackle.
Yeah, that's he's not the best defensive player though, and I think the best defensive player is so subjective about, do you go in the secondary, or like we can have an argument who the best linebacker is.
Yeah.
So we'll cut Aaron Donald simply because I'm tired of hearing him on TikTok. And he's a great player. Let's not take anything away from him here.
Oh yeah, like I'd said, best defensive tackle, certainly of my lifetime. Best one
our lifetime. Sure.
I've been able to see. All right,
Aaron Donald.
2 keeps and 1 cut so far.
Aaron Donald has won 10 Super Bowls in his Madden career, so let's go with number 10.
Number 10. I'll put the hat backwards for this one because it's Ken Griffey Jr., who was born in Donora, Pennsylvania in 1969.
So, this is tough for almost 50-year-old Max. 13-year-old Max keeps him without question. I think he was like one of my favorite players to watch. But it's understandable why he held ill feelings towards the Yankees and literally how they treated his dad. But I mean, there's probably a lot of cool people on this list. I will. This is a very, very, very difficult cut, but I'll cut Griffey Jr. simply because of how he felt about the Yankees. I don't think he'd want to be on my list.
All right.
So we're 2-2 here. Ken Griffey Jr. won 7 home run derbies. We'll go with number 7.
So this might have been, even though he's at number 7, it might have been the first name I thought of. It's Wilt Chamberlain.
Oh, where was Wilt born?
Philly.
Nice. I'll tell you what, we're going to keep Wilt, but not because he was a good basketball player and not because of the other thing he was good at, but he was really awesome in the Conan movie.
He was.
Boom Bata.
And you get the picture of him and Andre the Giant holding up Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He was just disgustingly strong. How much? You know what? I wonder if Google knows this. How much did Wilt Chamberlain bench? Wilt Chamberlain claimed. How much do you think he could bench? Before I give you the number here.
I know he claimed something like outrageous, like 500 pounds or something like that.
500 to 600 pounds. Bodybuilding legend Arnold Schwarzenegger witnessed him handle over 500 pounds. Strength historians view the 600-pound claim as an exaggeration. But, I mean, imagine the length of his arms benching 500 pounds.
And he was a track star as well. Like, he was a great jumper, a great runner.
Yeah. So let's keep Wilt.
All right.
Wilt has claimed to sleep with 90,000 women. Let's go to 9.
All right. I think I know the fate of this guy. Great golfer and great drink inventor. It's Arnold Palmer.
He's golf. I feel no remorse cutting a golfer.
Like stabbing in a knife fight?
Yeah. I'll get the sword of power and or we will remove Arnold Palmer from the list.
All right.
The drink is fine. I am so black on golf as a sport, though. I don't feel bad.
All right.
So we're 3-3. So we have 4 left. Arnold Palmer has a lemonade and iced tea. That's 2 drinks. Let's go to number 2.
Number 2. I did not know this guy was born in Pennsylvania, but he was born in Abington Township. Reggie Jackson.
Wow. That's wild.
Yeah, I did not know that.
I did not know that. Let's. I mean, for the 5 years he spent in New York, the 3 home runs he hit against LA, you got to keep Reggie. If you start looking at retired numbers and plaques and monuments, Reggie's one of those, like, how many years do you have to spend to get one? But I mean, the 5 years were big, so yeah, we'll keep Reggie.
All right. So
And
3 left.
Keep one of them. And since Reggie spent 5 years in New York, let's go to number 5.
Number 5, the pride of Hazleton, Pennsylvania. It's Joe Madden.
Oh boy, I'll tell you what. Back in 2002, when the Angels won the World Series, Joe Madden came back to town, and he does not know me from anybody. It might have been 2000. Whenever he came in, it might have been 2003. I was wearing a wool hat when I was interviewing him, and I had a Yankee wool hat. And all he knew of me was I had a wool hat and a microphone. And he busted my chops so hard. I thought to myself, I love this guy. This guy's incredible. In my Dice Baseball League, we've built a little universe. And I manage the Hazleton Mountaineer baseball team, and our baseball field is called Madden Field. And none of the guys know it. Like, we have a guy who has, he's got like a detective type theme. We've got a guy from Seattle who has the Super Saiyans, who are like an anime thing. I have, like, you're my reporter. You just took over for Ray Saul. I sent you that picture, right? So Madden Field is our field. So I really have to keep Joe Madden here.
All right.
So the 2 people that are at 3 and 6 are just auto cuts. And this was of all the ones we've done so far. I mean, shoot, I cut Ken Griffey Jr. and I felt bad about it. This was a tough one. Who's number 3?
So number 3, and there's a fun little statistical anomaly, is Stan Musial.
Fraternity brother of mine. Feel bad cutting him. Where was he born?
He was also born in Denora, in the same hospital as Ken Griffey Jr., on the same day, 49 years apart.
Wow.
How would
I
you
love
like
stuff
to be born in a specific day and time, in a specific place, and not be able to say, I was the greatest baseball player definitively born on November 21st in this hospital, because there's another Hall of Famer.
That's nuts. And they both got cut, so I feel bad.
Both got cut. They're in the Hall of Fame, but they're not a keeper for Max Giamelli.
Why did I keep Joe Montana?
Number 6, I think, is going to hurt you too. Number 6 is another Aliquippa guy. It's Ty Law.
Oh, yeah, that's not cool. Yeah, we should have went 6 first. No, that just tells you how many really, really good athletes came from the fine state of Pennsylvania.
We're a hotbed is what we are.
Excellent keep 5, cut 5 we got here. Start bench cut for you. I have an interesting kind of theme that when I was thinking of my time as a kid, I combined that with, we talked about the way football is working. So I have 3 start bench cuts for you that will come to a final here. They're cartoon characters that you would like to start a cartoon football team with.
Okay.
So bracket number 1 or section number 1, Bugs Bunny, Scooby-Doo, Mickey Mouse.
I start Bugs Bunny.
I think that was the easy one for you.
Because we've seen it even just in baseball.
But it's baseball. That's where the I don't know if he's like Bo or Dion, if he could do it with both. But that's fair.
Scooby, I think he lacks the motivation to be a great athlete. So I'm going to cut Scooby.
Oh, so Mickey gets benched.
Mickey gets
I thought Scooby might have been too afraid to play football, but yeah, the motivation factor is another thing.
Yeah.
So now, maybe along the offensive line, the aforementioned Shrek, Sully from Monsters Inc., or Johnny Bravo.
I'm going to start Sully.
Ooh, I like it.
Because I think when motivated, he could, bring the meanness, bring some toughness. I'm gonna bench Johnny Bravo just because I like him more than Shrek.
All right, Johnny Bravo on the
Shrek,
bench.
you can go back to your swamp.
Johnny Bravo on the bench is definitely hitting on the cheerleaders. Let's get that
Absolutely.
straight. That's and then finally for like the utility position, you got to pick a chipmunk: Alvin, Simon, or Theodore.
Simon was the nerdy one, right?
Simon was the one in the blue and the glasses. Yeah, he was probably the nerdy one.
Yeah, he can. We'll cut him. He can do the advanced, the analytics. We don't need him on the field, but when we're building the roster, we'll consult him. Look, they're not called Theodore and the Chipmunks. We want someone with leadership potential, and Alvin's a bit of a risk taker too. He's got some of that riverboat gambler in him. Give me Alvin to start. Theodore, we'll bench you, but honestly, I don't know what you're bringing to the table, bud.
I don't think I don't know either.
He just eats.
He's definitely soft, especially around the middle.
Yeah.
So your final, you start bench cut between Bugs Bunny, Sully, and Alvin.
I think there's a natural order here where Sully feels like the best athlete of the bunch. So he's getting the start of those three. Barely, though, over Bugs, who we have proof of his athletic ability. So he's getting benched. So it goes Sully start, bench Bugs. Alvin, we got to cut you.
That's fair.
One too many risks.
I think with football, I think Sully is an easy start.
Yeah.
When he pulls out the mean, you put him at defensive tackle, he's better than Aaron Donald. Just saying.
Yeah.
He's like the Monstars version of, Aaron Donald mixed together with John Randall.
Yeah. I think Sully's the clear choice.
Good list, good show. I think I forgot to. I have this written down here. Sad news: Tommy John was in hospice. Tommy John passed away last week. So
yeah,
I don't know if we mentioned.
Not long after the show it was announced.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we mentioned it or not, but that was somebody on my in the Dice baseball list, I think, or on one of the message boards I go to. No, it was a message board thing. Said that he belongs in the Hall of Fame, and I wondered about that. I'm like, I don't know. I looked up his numbers. They were really good, but
288 career wins.
It feels like Hall of Very good, but either way, it's a very sad story that we ran into. And another sad story coming up in about 23 minutes. I've got to go take apart a set.
And on the same note as Tommy John, I just wanted to point out Paul Dara, who had been the coach for the BU football program. He'd been defensive coordinator for a long time. He coached them until about 2017 or so as the head coach. Took him to nationals, coached Franklin Cuite, who won a Harlan Hill. He sadly passed away this week. He'd been battling cancer. So I'd really like to see the program do something, either a moment of silence for the home opener, because he really left a mark on the program.
Well said. Anything cool coming up this week that we can end on a happy note?
Yeah, well, I mean, high school football Friday night.
Are you going to any games? Do you maneuver out in the world of Bloomsburg?
No, I'd done some freelancing a couple years ago, but I haven't sought that out just because it started to feel like an obligation a little bit. So I'll stay here and listen to whatever games are being broadcast. Is the Chambers, because I listened to a couple of the Chambersburg games or watched a couple of the Chambers.
Yeah, I think Mid-Penn Broadcasting still will put them on, and I'll probably end up doing a game or two. That they emailed me the Sunday before, and Gary's like, "Can you do this week?" I'm like, "Yeah." I cannot do the Cumberland Valley game on September 18th because I got an email from one of the booster people, who's also a teacher in the school. I got picked to be one of like a senior's favorite teacher. So I get to walk on the field. I get a plaque, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I've done that for a couple sports. Never, I've done it for basketball, volleyball, baseball. This will be my first football, which is kind of cool.
Now, to bring it back to the high school movies, is any part of you concerned that this is a Carrie situation? They're gonna like dump pig's blood on you as a big funny haha on Mr. Gemelli?
I mean, there's nothing. We don't have a dome, so somebody's gonna have to like ice bucket challenge me. I doubt it, but the percentage is not zero.
So just keep that in mind. Then is all I'm saying. Head on a swivel, okay?
Sounds good. All right, bud. You have a good week. We'll see you later. We'll do the thing, and next week Michigan football preview. It'll be 7 days to kick off. It'll be a good time. So out in Super Meatball land.